All right. So, according to my understanding of things, it is or has been in the last few days a celebration of a Diwali sort. This is a Hindu festival of light, I believe. Um, I don't know what is celebrated, but we're glad for celebrations and we're hoping for good things, I guess, and just showerings of what we are really, light and blessings, a kind of like a blessing onto this earth. I kind of imagine that it took some sort of light coming onto this terror that created something to do with humans or something. We can see that we have a lot of animal DNA as well, and we are related to animals. Um, but there's also a kind of like, well, there's a difference. Humans are quite different in quite profound ways or quite like obvious ways. And I'm just saying that like maybe we came from the stars. Maybe we came like not that we traveled here by like a spacecraft, but like maybe something of the stars littered itself like spores, like seeds, like came down onto this earth and somehow mixed with the DNA of like the stuff that was going on Earth here already. And this is I'm talking about millions of years ago. I'm talking about like unfathomable like years ago. So that's kind of how I'm thinking about it. Like light came to the earth and then the stuff that bore us was born. Like I don't know what it was. I don't know what the first human would have looked like or the first like thing to do with human homo something would have looked like. But I just imagine it to have been like a collaboration between what was going on Earth and what's going on in outer space. And so I do think that a lot of our depictions of gods and goddesses come from this kind of memory of a different place. This kind of like big headed god, or like alien headed, or like many arms, or like many legs, or like different kind of face, or something. Like I do think that we get these ideas from a memory, and when things like seem to like when we seem to relate to the things that we see, then I think that that is a signal that we are we are related to the things that we see, that we are related to. When something just kind of like seems familiar, I think that that is what um yeah, like that is what's like says that we are related to something that is out of this world. And I think when we listen to certain music as well and it takes us to like a different space, I think it takes us back to like this place that we came from. And again, I don't think we came in terms of like physically like in some spacecraft, but I do think there is like something of a journey that our spirit souls made to come here, and that many different rays of light, different colors, So whatever it is that came here, I think would have come in many. So whether it was seeds or just like light that first poured itself into the earth, like I don't understand, like, but there is something that says to me that humans are both of this earth and not of this earth, of this plane. And you know, the word plane is in the word planet. So we're of this plane and we're not of this plane. And that's kind of how I'm thinking about it. I'm seeing that there are like different colors of light, and each color of light, you know, because like light is a spectrum, right? Light is white generally, but white is made up of all of the colors combined. Like it's a spectrum of light basically, and all of the colors are within it. And all of these colors would have shone, would have sparked from some outer space place, from some outer thing. Call it the sun, call it some nebula thing, call it some other star. But these streaks of light would have come onto this, onto this like plane, onto this planet, onto this terra, onto this earth, and would have caused like reactions, whether that's like the lights hitting the plants in a certain way, and then those plants now being imbued with certain things, and then animals maybe eating of those plants. I'm not too sure, but there is a definite like idea that we are we are connected to more than just what's going on this earth, and that this earth is not closed. It's actually open to the influence of everything that's going on around it. So that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that there's more than we, because we're like tied into like our social games, our technology, and there is so much outside of that that permeates everything that we're doing and is like part of the real world, which is more than just this plane. The world is bigger than this plane. The world is pretty much like anywhere we're able to visit, like mentally at least. And I think that that's why when we get certain dreams that seem so like completely like, I think our video games and our films, like our ideas that we pour into these things, into these mediums, they give us a glimpse of what we're coming from, the kind of realms we're coming from. I think if you remember those like 90s like video games and the kind of like imagery that they would have, a lot of it is quite symbolic, quite like religious almost, like, and these images found across religions, found across video games, found across films, this media, these media, these images like permeate into our like memory. Like we see it and we're almost like ignited. We're excited by it. We know it. Like we recognize it. And I don't think it's necessarily that like there's like another world that's like identical to this one where these images are just like all around. But I think that these images are like symbols. They're like signs, like pointing to almost like a seed is like a symbol of the fruit that it came from. Like it's seeds that we're seeing. It's seeds that we're looking at when we're looking at these like images and these video games. And I don't know what I'm trying to like show to you, but like especially these like 90s games, like like some of these like not Tetris, something between like Tetris and some sort of fighting game where you have to like almost like a Space Invader game or something, like where you have to like fight these weird like long ass dragons that have all these like heads or faces and all of this kind of like imagery in the background, like that is just kind of swirly, almost kaleidoscopic, and all that kind of vibe. And then you have all these kind of the only way I can describe it is demon looking like creatures that like are very much a part of the visuals and a part of the game, and this kind of stuff I see as part of a realm, or like I think that certain realms have certain visuals, and maybe I'm speaking about a specific realm or something, but like there is this kind of like kaleidoscopic like demon vibe that I seem to be like, remembering or something like that. Um, and then there's talk of other stuff. Like there's the different kind of talk, but like you have like films which like bring out the narrative of like the hero's story generally, like the people, or the journey of the hero, the journey of the human, the journey of who we are, as adventurers in this realm. Like we've come into this space, into this plane, and we're like there's like a kind of beginning to end like growing thing that's going on, and I think that that's what we are understanding but not fully like deeping, like, or like taking onto our backpacks and like actually strapping to ourselves and saying, yes, this is actually like a realm, this is a space, this is a plane for me to like traverse. And so films, I think, like the why we connect to them so much is because they reflect back to us things that we know, but things that we also like aim for or hope for, like a kind of like a want for our lives, like a bigger. They show us bigger. They almost invite us to aim bigger, to fight harder, or like, or just to like seek harder, SEEK harder, you know. And I think that that's why they're so like reflective